A massive new attempt at housing the homeless is underway in Barrio Logan. Today, the city opened the first of 3 transitional housing tents. And 10 News reporter Matt Boone was there and explains how the city is trying a different approach than before.
Yeah, Kim, the city used to operate a winter tent here on this lot, but that program ended 2 years ago. This tent and the other ones coming with it came amid mounting political pressure to deal with the city's homeless crisis and the hepatitis A outbreak. Today, we got a first look inside. With her dog and her few belongings, Verna Vastbinder was one of the first to move into the new tent.
I'll be glad to be off the ground with my arthritis.
She says she's been homeless off and on for the past 4 years, most recently staying at the city's tent lot in Balboa Park.
Better than sleeping on the sidewalk by myself, with just me and my dog, who's terrified of her own shadow.
The idea for the tent came out this summer amid an unprecedented hepatitis A outbreak and a sharp uptick in the unhoused homeless population.
This is show everybody a little tour.
Mayor Kevin Falconer toured the tent today, which will be run by the Alpha Project. Services will include showers, substance abuse counseling, healthcare, and personal case managers.
When they asked me, you want to go to tents, I said yes immediately, because it's not safe out there.
The city's goal is to get at least 65% of the people into permanent housing. They expect the length of stay to be around 120 days.
I'm glad with the city's help, I'm able to get off the streets, at least through the coldest part of the year.
She hopes to meet the goal of getting into permanent housing, too.
I'm hoping that before the end of January, I'll be in my own apartment.
Nobody was expecting 50 children and their parents at the city's temporary homeless campground. That's why this time they're prepared. Father Joe's Villages will be operating a tent dedicated to families in a gated parking lot on its property. It will have beds and cribs for 150 people.
We'll receive all the families that are in the campground, and then we think there's still more out there. We know that our waiting list for the Family Living Center is months and months long, so there are families out there, and we'll be ready to serve them.
Bruland says Father Joe's is the most ideal location for the family tent because it's already equipped for children.
We sometimes at our village and our regular buildings have up to 160 kids at a time, so we're used to all that kid activity.
Inside the tent will be a kid-friendly area, and right next door is a therapeutic care center.
We can help them if they're behind in school. We can help them get caught up in school. It's just a great place to be safe, to play, and to learn.
Bruland says having 150 additional people on campus will be a challenge.
Yeah, we know we're going to have to extend the hours to serve everybody.
The tent is set to open in late December. Bruland says they'll work hard to provide the best care possible.
A tent isn't an ideal situation, so as quickly as we can, we'll move people from the tent into our regular structure.
A couple blocks away on 16th Street and Newton Avenue is where a second tent will provide 350 beds for men and women. It will be run by the Alpha Project. Amy Gagno is Chief Operating Officer.
We have women in the front, and then we have barriers between the two sections and men in the back.
The nonprofit operated the city's winter tent program for 2 decades. It's currently managing the city's homeless campground in Golden Hill, which opened in September for 200 people. Gagno says a step-down plan to close the campground is underway.
So that we can take the singles that are over there and they can come over here, so there's not that lapse in service.
The large tent is scheduled to open on December 1st.
A lot more efficient and easier and less frustrating for both the client that's living on a street, which are transient, so you can't really, sometimes you can't find them. So this will provide a spot for people to come and see their people and work with them and get them out.
Also on site, an abundance of services, including healthcare and counseling, will help people gain stability, including those with drug and alcohol addictions.
We don't want any barriers to entry here. We just want to help them. So once they get in and they have some issues, we engage and try to get them, either they need a treatment facility or whatever needs they have.
The site also includes bathrooms, showers, laundry facilities, and 24-hour security. 2 meals will be served each day. People can bring their service animals and 2 bags filled with belongings, and they can come and go as they please, but a strict curfew will be in place.
We have bed check at 8 o'clock at night, every night.
Those who don't check in on time will lose their bed that night.
So we're not going to leave a bed open. We'll go out at night and go and get somebody that wants to come in.
Gagno says 350 people are a lot to fit under one roof, but she's not worried.
We've been doing this so many years, and to be honest with you, we really don't have that many issues. People are just really happy and grateful to be here.
It's a place just to literally detox from survival mode into being a human being mode.
Alpha Project CEO Bob McElroy says this shelter will act as a gateway to permanent housing.
The goal here is that folks that may be homeless today won't be homeless next week.
Friday, the nonprofit opened the first of 3 temporary bridge shelters the city of San Diego is sponsoring. Around 25 women moved in Friday, and they expect to have up to 350 people here by next week.
Those people who have been out there the longest, the most infirmed, the most at risk, will have the first shot of being in here.
Very lucky to get a second chance. I'm going to do everything I can to do right and follow all the rules and stuff.
People can stay here for up to 120 days, working with case managers to try and better their living situation.
A lot of people here are going to be able to transition out of here. Some into housing, some will go home, some will go into treatment programs, some will go to the streets. But the reality is it's a chance for people to start the process.
Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.